So far tonight, I've heated up these pads and put my shackles where they need to be. My shackles are now tight and bolted up. You can see on this one, I had the heat here to twist to get this angle. I originally heated here, pulled it out, and then used this one to get it straight. I had to trim it down because of the width of my shackles and my spring. I guess this is for a wider spring originally. That's it. This is all snug, tightened up, Loctite in. Now I'm just working on my steering over to there. Seeing that this is a samurai box, I'm using the one end and I'm gonna weld on a proper fitting for the other side. So I'm gonna get that. Let's see how. Right now I'm just designing up quick cluster to hold my Speedo and my gauges. I'm just gonna cut it out on some sheet metal. Then I'll make it my dash in my car there. So today I made a battery box and I mounted it under the floor there. That's the plan. I have to go check. I think I got my brake parts today, so I can do the back brakes and remove my e-brake from. Right now the cables come off this side. I want them to come over on the passenger side so I can do the e-brake handle on the floor right beside the seat up there. That's the plan. I've also made my Speedo cluster. That's what I cut on the table the other day. I just painted them because these are all LED, so they're too dang bright. But those are my signals. One of these is my high beam and one is for my check engine light. I'm still waiting for my oil gauge to come in and my wiring harness so I can go put this sucker all together. Definitely not very interesting, but I made the tab for my e-brake, ran my one line. Because I had to move my steering box, it was originally up here, I had to move it back. So I had to do something weird. I do have a residual valve in the line, so it should be alright. On the plus side, check it out. I'm actually being able to run a mechanical fan. I've never been able to do that when on one of these motors before. To this point. Yeah, made a tab for the rear. Again, nothing too interesting. Just made that tab, mounted it, my brakes. Now I'm just gonna do rear brakes. Got new pads. I'm gonna see if I have any good drums. I have some wheel cylinders in the shed. I'll probably have to redo the back lines. Guaranteed they'll probably break. Yeah. Once I get that done, then I'll be able to bleed my brakes. Cool stuff. Nothing too exciting here. I haven't actually got to the brakes because I realized I had an axle seal that was bad. So I replaced that. But in doing that, I popped open the diff, realized I had 410 gears in it. So that with a 3-speed was going to really suck. So I did have a posi in the shed and some 342 gears, so that should be a nice combo. Well, tonight not huge news. I found a Fender Bracket. I guess it's a Fender support. So I have that in. I have all my brakes run and bled. But unfortunately, I think my master cylinder is not good because it looks like it's leaking. I have my e-brakes are in. Kind of made up a super simple tug handle, again out of the Samurai. I found a heater on Kijiji, so I'll have to figure out how to do defrost yet. Seam sealed the floor, set the hose clamp and wire it. I pulled my box tailgate off the wall. I had another truck and I kept the gate because the box I was using had a tailgate on it already, so I have a tailgate for it. You can see I got my lights all wired, got my horn, my computer, all that jazz wired. Still waiting on my oil gauge, but key, ignition, kind of all that jazz should be working. Next step, I am building the window frame for the car. So here's what I came up for a windshield. I realized I kind of goofed and I'll have to do some modifying to get my wiper in there, because I built the brow pretty thick, only because I can put a seal behind there. I found these arms at a swap meet, and then the mounts are actually from the original T here. So overall, it seems to work together pretty good. So, as you can see, I just welded in some angle. Actually, it's not even angle. I cut this out in the plasma. I made this bracket. These are just flat stock that I just followed the contour of the dash. So it's similar to stock, but not, because I just used the big piano hinge across top. Yeah. That's where I'm at tonight. I'm going to make a template so I can get some glass cut. I'm first going to try to make my window, see if I can modify this to get my wiper to work properly in here. I'm thinking I'm just going to go through the hinge, cut a little groove. That way my wiper arm can come and do as little of nothing that they do on these small windows. Alright, well, I got my wiper figured out. I alleviated the problem by just welding the nut on, to which I should, there we go. Should solve the problem. I think I'm just going to double nut this motor. I'll actually make a mount for the other side of it here, on this tab here. But that said, that just clears the window. I can open the window. It just clears my wiper arm. So technically it gives me a wiper. Got that sorted out. Now I'm going to pull that thing off, get a bit of paint on it, get the template out so I can get some glass made. Hopefully get that done tomorrow. And glue her in, stick it in the car, get my visor back on, all that jazz. Start getting the rest of my windows ready.